this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Monday, May 23rd, 2022, and I'm here for a weekly cross-stitching update. I have quite a few things to share. I got almost everything done that I wanted to get done this week, so plus a couple fully finished items, and I will start with Stitchy Kindness. So I have the camera angled down just a little bit because Smokey's in here, so hopefully you can see her sometimes. So I got a wonderful package from Anne. I think it might have come Saturday, but we just saw it in the mailbox today, so oops. But we got there were two cute little cards, a Merry Ankle Bright card, and that one had some of these pretty little Victorian stickers, like, yay, so pretty. I like all the flowers. And then there was this other card too, English Elegance. That had more stickers in it. This is a pretty one, little bird's nest. So lots of pretty stickers. Thank you. And that one also came with a needle minder. So that'll be fun, and it's a nice wooden one, so perfect for stitching in hand. And then she sent a whole bunch of patterns along. Which are really fun. So let's see, 3 Lenart kits, or not kits, patterns. One called Dreaming, which is a sweet little girl with a kitty cat in pink dress. And this one is called Girl with Cat, so it's another one. The big fluffy cat. And this one's called My Fair Lady. I love the colors in that one. I guess these are by Stony Creek also. I like her shoes. And a footprints chart that is actually different than the one I have. At first I thought it was the one I had done before, but this one's slightly different. So that's fun. And Victorian Springtime. So colorful. This one is by Country Cross Stitch, and it's so colorful. It reminds me a little bit of that Chaplin's Garden one that I have. This path and the sky are not stitched, so it is not full coverage, which is nice. But I like the colors in that one. And then she sent along this 40-year anniversary book by Witchelt, and it actually has a lot of patterns in here, which is cool. I don't think I've seen this before. I'll do a quick flip through. There's a couple of these flowers by Perman, and they have beads in them. No eating, kitty. This is a cute one, Debbie Mum Sprinkler. And that's on like a hand-dyed fabric. There's beads in that too. Good amount of beads. There's a Mill Hill Funky Tree ornament. And You Are Always Welcome, which is heavily beaded pineapple. There's like a little house in there. What are you doing? She's back here being mischievous. So that's fun. Those are both, oh, this is a Jim Shore one, the pineapple one. Lots of beads on that one. This is another Jim Shore one called Lucky, which is a kitty cat. Beads in there too. I believe, I read the introduction to this, which talks about the history of Witchelt, and they did buy Mill Hill back in 2004, so that's why there's a major like collaboration there. Here's some beaded tassel ornaments. Those are cute. This is fun. Christmas Village shops, and there's like 4. There's 4 here, and they put them all together into one long strip, so that's pretty cool. I like that. I've liked the thought of doing a little village collaboration, not collaboration, collage, I suppose, of all the little kits that people have done, and put them all on one fabric. But this is fun, where someone already sorted out the details, squished them together, and made one big piece. I think that's really great. I might have to do that. Here's another, this is a Midnight Santa. Let's try to get it where you don't see the pattern. That's a pretty one. It's like the size of a buttons and beads kit. If you wanted to do it on perforated paper, you probably could. You would just need to get your own, since this is just the patterns. This is Sticks Merry Christmas with a snowman and a cartoony vibe. And then over here is a Mirabilia with a ship and a mermaid underneath. That's pretty. That's full coverage. Be warned. And then this is also full coverage by Tia Governor, called Nasturtium. There's some beads in there in the middle as well. It's really quite stunning. So that's exciting. There's instructions on the back, you know, about beading and stitching and stuff. So pretty cool. So thank you, Anne. That was really fun. Kind of forgot it was coming. I think you asked for my address a little while ago and I had forgotten about it. So that was a nice surprise. So thank you. Fully finished objects. I have 2 nieces graduating from high school this year. And one of them graduates this week. So her graduation party is on Friday. And so I needed to get my fairies framed. And I have both of these fairies finished, so I just needed to get them framed. So here's the first one, the one that's going to be gifted this week. There's the lack of glare there. This is a 8x10 frame that I got at Walmart, actually. It's a nice hefty frame, decent. Quite impressed with that, actually. So it's just a nice wood frame. Sorry about all the glare, but I wanted to keep the glass in, especially for these ones because it is centered pretty well. Because I don't know what they're going to be doing with them. You know, they may be on their dorm room wall. They may be tucked away in a box for a few years until they know what to do with them. I don't know. I'm hoping they love them and treasure them, but you never know. And so I figured the safe thing to do, even though there's beads, is to glass it up. And then it can be tossed around a little bit more freely without risk of things getting caught or messed up. So yeah, so that's that one. Letter L fairy. I gifted the first one 2 years ago. So now this is the second and third. And this one, she lives out of town. And so I'm not 100% sure when I'm gifting this, but hopefully I will be gifting this in, you know, next month or so, whenever we see her, or send it with someone who's going, my grandparents, you know, going up to visit. So this is the E. And I did color conversion on both of these. And I will be doing, right now I'm working on the letter F, which will be needed next summer. And then the year after that, I need to do another E and another S. This is mine, but I have my next 2 nieces. I have one niece graduating next year and 2 nieces graduating the following year, just like this year. So I need an E and an S for that year. The E, I think, is the heaviest stitching situation. So I need to make sure I get F finished and get cracking on the next one. So, but it's pretty. And the E and the S that I do next will be different than these colors, just because I want to personalize it for the person, but also be a little bit more interesting to stitch if you have a different color palette to work with. So that'll be fun. I'll make sure I find out some favorite colors and try to kind of coordinate, sift through my fancy floss and pick out things for those when the time comes. So that's fun. I got those framed up yesterday. I know I need to do a video to show how I frame things the way I do, because most of the time I frame them with a store-bought frame very cheaply. I literally try to get a frame with a mat already. I flip the mat over with the paper that comes, like the fake picture that comes in there, and I wrap the cross stitch around that and put it back in. I lace it and put it back in. So it's like super easy, super not professional at all, but it works. And I have a lot of things framed like that, and it works. I tend to procrastinate when it comes to framing things for gifts, and so I run out of time to film. So I'm hoping the next time I frame something, I will be able to film it for you and show you kind of what I do. It's not like I said, it's not professional. It's not super high quality, but it works. And so if that's kind of what you're into, then you can maybe learn how to frame something quickly and without too much grief. And I'm not a perfectionist, really. Like I have a lot of people that ask me questions about how I do things and how do you get things so neat or so just right or whatever, but I don't try very hard. So I don't know. There's sometimes I don't know the answer to those questions because I'm actually kind of I try to be efficient. I try to be, try to just have fun. I don't want to waste a lot of money or a lot of time. So yeah, I don't actually try to be neat or try to be particular with my cross stitching. It's fun. It's a hobby. And if I can display it quickly and easily and it looks nice, then I'm happy. So what did I work on this week? Let's start with travel stitching. Once again, I didn't work on my butterflies and I'm really sorry. The Witchy Stitchers, Charlene and Morgan, they put out another video yesterday and I watched it right away. I was very excited. And Morgan said, I need to get caught up on this. And I do. I'm really sorry. Somehow I need to fit this back into my schedule. But I think once summer home is finished, I will maybe have a little bit more freedom in what I'm doing. But for right now, this is still where I was before. And I do need to finish April and get May started. And that's how it is. I'm not sure. Yeah, I have put this into a challenge for this week to, not this week, this month, to do for 100 stitches or 1 hour for the Stitch Into the Wild Facebook group. And I don't know when I'm going to do that. So I might have to just sort out a time to make that happen. We'll see. But my temperature pause, my butterfly, not butterflies, wander with me. I did work on a little bit yesterday and actually this morning as well because I wanted to get the little paws finished before I come. That's the one I already showed you. This is the dog version, Walk With Me. Take your dogs for a walk and your cat wanders around in the house. So I suppose there are outside cats too, but there were a lot of things that lent themselves to an indoor cat that I could chart. So this is where I got to on my Wander With Me. This is 27 count Linda in Vintage Country Mocha, 1/1 full cross. And I got these 2 paws finished. This paw kind of blends in a little bit too much, but that's kind of the way it rolls. Similar to that one where some of those pale yellowy green colors don't really work on this fabric, but I can't change it now. And like I said, some hot toes there. The previously, yeah, these were the previous hottest colors, and now we got a 97 up there. So a touch of summer, but it got cool again. Like this is 71, I think. So, because it went from those colors to the paw, or the main pad, and then I started at the top and worked my way down. So this is the last day stitched, and I had one more possible temperature, but I do like to wait until the whole paw is ready before I stitch it. So that's where that is. I got my string I had started last time on the fishbowl, finished the string, ran out, but went over to the paws. So next time I'll probably try to get that white finished at least, and if I have any extra time, I'll keep working on the little goldfish in there. So I like to work on that one in the car to and from church on Sunday. I didn't get it all done this week, so that's why I wanted to finish it up today before I showed you, just so I won't get behind on that one too. So, oh, she's so sweet. She's sleeping. This is my regular travel piece that I'm doing in the car while I wait to pick up the kids. I'm currently working on May. I'm a little nervous about June and July because I won't have school pickups. So They are smaller. Like June is one of the smallest. That's April. June is one of the smallest months. And this is July. I was mixed up because it's backwards right now. So this one is more of a medium size, and that's a small. This is a large. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. But yeah, finding time to do everything is tricky. So here is where I got to on this. I believe I only put in 3 days because this is 28 count Dove Gray Monaco, mostly 2/2 full cross. And got the little birdies done. I got the dark green done. Started in on the white. You can see a little bird bath there, and there's a little bit of flowers, and the gazebo has a lot of white in it. And then I think I'll do some blues because those are more structured as well. And then add in all like the pinks and purples and oranges and yellows and things like that. So, yeah, I think I only did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on this one because Thursday I was trying to finish up the part of Summer Home before the next part came out on Friday. And so I took that one with me to travel stitching time in the car. And then Friday I was trying to finish up the Under the Sea Club part because I was close, so close to finishing that part. So this one only got 3 days this week, but it did get some time. So speaking of those other two, this is, where is it? There it is, right in the middle. This is Summer Home by the Fat Quarter Shop that I am stitching along with them during the month of May, and it's a 5-part mystery stitch along. So this center strip of the house was part 4, which came out on Friday. Just barely made a start on that, and I'm mostly finished, maybe 100% finished now with part 1. Let's take a look, shall we? Not part 1, part 3. I'm actually not done with part 1 because I don't have the border 100% finished, but it'll get there. So here I am with this one. This is 14 count thin white pine board with a 2-strand full cross. So yeah, I finished part 3 of the house. I kept messing around with this leaf because the color of the leaf and the house are very, very similar, and you can't really tell that the leaf is there. It just kind of blends in. So I tried back stitching it, didn't like it. I tried putting a shade of this over top with like a half cross just to make it look blended or something, and that looked not good. So I'm not sure if I might just leave it for now because I don't know. It's fine. So I still needed to do the aqua that was in this pot. And so when I had that on my needle, I went ahead and finished it up here. Then I did a little bit of blue that I had, navy that I had I had a partial length of thread, so I did that as well. But I didn't work on this yesterday because I had other goals that I wanted to do yesterday. So I will continue to try to do a little bit every day. I might need to do like 2 lengths of thread every day on that to get that center chunk done before Friday, but I don't know if I'll have time. This week is going to be a little bit weird, and next week, because school year is winding down. So my high schooler especially has a weird schedule the next 2 weeks. So all of my travel stitching, no guarantees. Anything happens the way it normally would. So we'll just have to see how it goes. I may get more, I may get less than normal, but we'll see. So this is my next one. It's kind of a random here and there project. It's the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This is their mostly year-long stitch along. It started in March, but it will end in December. So this is the Under the Sea Club, and we have part 2, part 1 and part 2. Part 3 should come out on Wednesday, I believe, this week. So I wanted to make sure I got part 2 finished. So I had a call with Colette, the highway stitcher, on Thursday, I think. And then as I worked on it then, got a good chunk of it done then, and then worked on it a little bit with my sister as well on Friday. And she's not working on it, but she likes frosted pumpkins, so I work on it when I talk to her, and then she can see and see my progress. And then I finished it up in the valet line at school on Friday, or mostly then. So here is where I'm at now. This is 25 count mystery blue even weave 1/1 full cross, all of my own colors, and super cute. And I did rip out and redo the color for the diver's like wetsuit. I had picked, I did a full conversion of Fancy Floss for all of the threads, except for this deep blue sea was the only one that was actually called for, and I had that. But everything else, the 2 other Fancy Flosses that were called for, plus all the DMCs, I just found stuff in my stash in the Fancy Floss department that I thought would work. And so I've got a whole bunch of little things in there that all different brands. And the one I had picked for that color was significantly lighter than the original DMC shade called for. And so it ended up blending in with my fabric too much. So I picked a different one and I like it better. So it's kind of a darker purple, but not quite as dark as the complementary purple that goes with it, in case they have to be next to each other in a future part of the pattern. So I had, yeah, so I think the new one is Brandy, and it goes with Mulberry as the darker version of whatever they were supposed to be, 38, whatever, 35 and 38, 36 or something like that, roughly. I probably got that wrong, but oh well. So I'm excited. Got part 2 finished, and I'm doing silk lame braid for the bubbles that are coming out of all of their mouths, except for the Ray didn't have any bubbles. So those are a little fluffier than normal because they're thicker than DMC, but I like that the sparkle is there and they kind of puff up, so that's fun. Little dimension. So let's see, I think that's all the random stuff. So yeah, Summer Home was kind of my bonus stitching, so it got 1 or 2 strands of floss every afternoon before I worked on my main project. My main project the beginning of the week was Villa Mirabilia, and you saw 1 day's progress of this last time, working up here in the pot or the urn, and you see a lot of it is fabric show through, but they do have all this shading that we need to do. So I did not get it done. There's just way too much there, and I had not a lot of time to stitch. So I had, I did an hour before I saw you last week, and then I only did 50 minutes on Tuesday and 40 minutes on Wednesday, but technically my whip goal is 3 days, and that was all the time I had available on those 3 days. So, here she is in all her glory. This is 32 count Willow Green Belfast, 2/2 full cross, and which I believe is the called for color. I'll do a before and after of this section, so you can see the little bit that I added in. So I did add, since this pot is the bane of my existence on this piece, I did add in the notes in the back of my planner, I have a list of things that if I feel inclined to finish some more goals at the end of the year, I have a little list of goals. And so I added it there to say, finish the urn. So if I get time at some point in the year, I kind of don't think I will, but you know, because I have too many other goals. I would like to finish that pot, including the bead, you know, garlands that are draping along it, because that would be fun to finally get that done and be able to move forward with the lady's dress next year. So we'll see. I have a lot of goals on there that are lofty and a lot of projects that I want to work on. So who knows what will happen. I keep tossing around ideas for how I want to plan future months, future years. There's so many choices when I have this many projects, and yeah. Oh, stretch the kitty. Yeah. I worked on Knitting Woman for one day, and I got a decent amount on just the one day, 416 stitches, so that was nice. Had a little bit more time that day. So this is a golden kite pattern, and it does have blends, so we need to do it with 2 strands. I am still trying to finish this by November to give it to my mom, because this reminds me of her. She has 3 girls and loves cats and knitting, so this was perfect. This reminds me of, she's my mom and this is me. Because my hair is light and her hair is dark. She's the one that likes to knit. And yeah, so this is 22 count Aida, 2/1 full cross. And I think I did more in the hands, like filled in some more of that, maybe, which possibly came down here as well. Don't actually remember what all I did, because I worked on it for 3 days, well, the week before, and so that was quite a lot of progress then. This will also come out again this week for 3 days, so look forward to more on this next week. So let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I believe I will work on this to move it along that much more. Keep filling it in. And then I'm thinking I'll probably go back to doing my bonus stitching on that one, where I do like a length of thread or something every afternoon before I work on my main piece. I'll go back to that in June, I believe, to kind of keep the ball rolling and get progress made on it. So then I moved to Sampler of Stitches for 2 days. And I actually worked on this for 3 days, because here's the whole shebang by the drawn thread. I'm trying to do 1 letter every 2 weeks, and I didn't want to get super far behind, because this week was supposed to be the letter K week, and so in 2 weeks I'm supposed to do the letter L, and letter L, as you can see, is a little bit bigger than either of these, so I didn't want to not finish K and have to continue to be behind, and I was excited about these sections for what I had left to do on Sunday, and I figured it shouldn't take me that long, so I just went ahead and did it, and it was about 45 minutes. I got this finished on Sunday, the K block. So I did finish J. This portion kind of drove me nuts. I wasted a lot of time trying to fix it. I ripped it all out 100% because it was warping my fabric quite a bit. And I even noticed in this picture, this is a little bit warped here too. So I think it's just the nature of the stitch. But I redid the light green color where the back, I'll show you, where the back is not also wrapped around. Like a traditional satin stitch, you need to come up and then down the fabric and then come up again on the same time. So you're kind of wrapping it around. And having that be on the angle was really pulling tight in that one direction. And so I instead came up and went down, and then came up over here and went down, and came up and went down. So I was only pulling my thread along the fabric on the top, and the bottom was just like backstitched, essentially, is what it looked like. It helped. It wasn't so bad as before, but then when I added the light green or the dark green, it started to warp again, even though I was doing the same thing. So I ended up getting a hoop out. I ripped out what I had done of the green. I got a hoop out, and I ended up doing the green regular, because it was actually messing up my stitches to try to do it the other way. Just when I pulled my needle back up from the bottom, it was like catching on stuff. So I just went ahead and did it the regular way with the dark green, and it did warp a little bit even though I had it in a hoop, but it's better, and I think I'm just gonna leave it at this point. So here is this one with J and K finished, which is exciting. This is on the called for everything 30 count custard cream linen 1/2 full cross, and most specialty stitches are 1 strand, although this one was 2 strands. So see, it is a little warped still, but it's not as bad as it was. And the back, you can see the light green is not covering, but I went ahead and did the dark green regular because I was using the hoop, and it made my stitches a little nicer on the front to do it that way. So I went ahead with it. And then the K had some cluster blocks. I always thought that Hardanger stitch was called a cloister block, but apparently it's cluster block with a K, not a C-C-L-O-I-R-O-I-S-T-E-R is how I thought it was. But that key I added as well, which is fun. Yeah, so I'm excited to have that part done and to be able to say, yes, I am caught up. And hopefully I won't run into any more major snafus in the L block, and I can maybe get that done in the 2 days allotted for it in June. So, she's so cute. Another picture of Smokey sleeping. Okay, then on Sunday I worked on Amazing Grace. I didn't have a lot of time because I was doing my framing that day as well, but I did get an hour and 15 minutes on this, which is better than nothing. Got this motif finished. These motifs are taken from a My Big Toe Designs pattern of Amazing Grace, and then I just modified it with backstitched letters and a lot fewer motifs to make it smaller so I would finish it in time. I'd like to get this finished in about a month. So here it is now. This is 28 count ivory Jobelin 1/1 full cross. My color conversion, but it's similar to what was called for. It's just what I had in my stash. And so I finished this motif, which is really exciting. I know I had left these green leaves undone because I wanted to, once I had the green on my needle, I wanted to go over and do this one too, but then I'm just like, I can't leave it undone. I gotta do it. So it's done, yay! So next Sunday, hopefully I'll have time, I'll come over, work on this verse, and then it will be 2 more verses and this whole big motif that I'll need to finish. So it's got a lot still. I'm only about halfway done, but starting in June, this will be my focus for a finish. So I'm gonna work on it most days. I think, yeah, that first weekend in June, I do want to spend a couple days on Sampler of Stitches to keep caught up on that. But all the other days, I'm just gonna keep working on this until it's done. And then I'll be free to kind of move forward, spend some time on my anniversary piece, on my letter F fairy whip go pieces for June, and you know, all the things. So I think that's everything. Plans will continue to be Amazing Grace on Sunday, Knitting Woman for 3 days, and my final whip goal project for the month of May is Princess de Broglie, which is the second one on my full coverage board. That's this one. This is a Golden Kite one as well. This was my very first Golden Kite, and it got me hooked. Back when I bought these ages ago, they were a lot less expensive. Not a lot. They were still expensive, but they were less expensive than they are now. They redid their pricing model. But I also would wait for sales, and I would combine. They have a shopping cart discount, I think, of 30% if you buy at least 3. So I would combine sales and shopping cart discounts and try to save as much money as I could, because I know they are expensive. They're a lot more than some of the other full coverage designers. But they use blends, which, if you're not afraid of blends, is very helpful in providing more detail in a smaller stitch count. So that is the benefit of these ones. And they do a wonderful job charting faces. Since they do the antiquities paintings, they do really well with the portraits and stuff. So this one I had started it on 18 count and was doing some of the background. I had done her whole face. And then the new version that I got that was compatible with Pattern Keeper was different. They'd actually retired this chart right after I bought it, which is why I bought it. I found out it was retiring. I'm like, oh, I need that. I'll go buy it. And then it was retired for a few years. They brought it back, but the new version was slightly different. So it didn't mesh with what I had already stitched. So I went ahead and took that time to restart it. I cropped off the top row. I believe I cropped off this, like a chunk of this. So you get all of her blue, but you don't get all of this chair. So I think it's like that. But I kept all of her because the blue dress is what I'm here for. So, and I restarted it on 20, I think this is, what is this? I think this is 28 count mushroom even weave by MCG Textiles. And it was fairly even, so I went with it. It was not cut even. It's like a little stretched. But this is how far I got so far, and I'm close to the end already, I think. Let's see. Yeah. So I did some of her face already and did the typewriter, I guess, across the top. So this is my starting point. She looks crazy because she is like yellow skin and green hair, but it does work once it's all together. From my original one that I did, it does work. It takes a while to get to where it looks good once you get all the shading in there. So what I have done in the past is I'll do some of the background and some of her face to kind of get her face progressing as well. So I'm not sure if I'll do that this time or just stick with background. We'll have to wait and see. So here she is. My goal on that is 1,000 stitches, and I'll have her out today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. To see how far I can get. And since it is a half stitch project, I can focus in on the background if I want to, so that should go pretty fast if I allow it to. So those are all my plans. I probably will want to pull out Under the Sea Club a little bit when part 3 releases on Wednesday, just because it's fun. So at the very least on Friday, with talking with my sister, I'll work on that a little bit, but I might pull it out just for a little bit on Wednesday, but we'll see. Depends on what else I have going on. It's a very busy week. There's lots of stuff with school and things and stuff. So yeah, the next 2 weeks will be busy, but I hope to just enjoy what I can and come share with you whatever I manage to get done. So I hope you have a wonderful week and enjoy your projects and your family and your pets and your friends. And with that, happy stitching. Bye.